you, Dr. Miao, and thank you everyone who is still back in the meeting. I know we just took a very brief break for this lunch, especially for the people that are in the Eastern time or Central time. But yeah, I love to present you now our collaborative solutions for modeling and simulation of fracture, bugs, and systems in the regards to our joint research project business. So my presentation will include the following points. First, I will recap and do a summarized information we discussed earlier this morning as the foundation of the solution that we proposed. Also, I will go into the details of the joint research project for developing bugs and cars EDFM. Then I will also specify the details on the products and the development plan. And finally, some benefits I will address some benefits of the membership. So as we discussed earlier this morning, the fundamental idea to tackle the challenges related to the characterization of fractures, bugs, and karsts consists on basically expanding our proven EDFM technology from fracture applications to bugs and karst characterization. This means adding new features for EDFM to handle new types of non-neighboring connections, definition, calculations, and derive appropriate fluid flow models within the reservoir simulator in order to simulate the cars, bugs, and fractures explicitly, accurately, and efficiently. As part of the solution, we believe that a joint research project can lead the progress on this matter. Joint teams with academy and industry have improved to be a very effective collaborative business model. Why? Because based on the industry needs, we can explore and meet their challenging requirements, making our technology development and products stronger and more efficient. As we have done earlier we have some expertise on this collaborative joint agreements with industry. As you see, it's not only that we develop some software or some technology, we actually are able to apply that in the field. As you can see, we were able to implement that in actual field operations. As you can see, we were visiting some of our companies to see how the progress was going, do some monitoring on the proposed ideas or work that we have performed for them. The evidence of that great technology development capability is that Syntec has already been able to provide reservoir integrated solutions that preserve the high resolution detail of every characterization component. We have incorporated different software modules to streamline the data to transfer from geological modeling to reservoir simulation. Now, thanks to our own software packages such as CFRAC, EDFM, URSIM, we can offer a much better integrated solution since we can handle different data sources and fill the gaps between geological characterization to reservoir simulation. Likewise, our technological solutions can still adapt to be fully compatible with other third-party reservoir or in general software, as you can see. So now, please, I'd love to present you the details of the joint research project for EDFM fractures, bugs, and karst systems. The main objective, as we want to depict, is that we want to develop the first reservoir simulator that models fractures, bugs, and karst efficiently and accurately. In that sense, the scope starts focusing on finding potential research and funding partners in industry who can benefit from a new bug and karst modeling technology. Developing, locating, and characterizing 3D bugs and karst models from geological interpretation. Also, the scope tries to find, will try to find approximations of known Darcy flow through URSIM and combining it with EDFM to finally provide an efficient and reliable modeling solution to characterize box, karst, and natural fractures at reservoir scale. The JRP, or Joint Research Project, proposes an integration between Simtech's objectives and the oil and gas company's objectives. Why? Because we want to develop a new modeling tool for box and karst, and the companies include and the company's objectives fundamentally need to characterize dynamically those fracture boggy reservoirs such as the pre-salt. Then the idea is to meet into a common objective to develop the EDFM for box and karst characterization. But what is the benefit of developing the best technology if at some point we include everything and make it too complex? Then no one can use it. The next part of the project on the integration focuses on the implementation plan for field application, which will address the task among the different parties, such as code development, sharing knowledge or resources. We expect to develop the whole package within 3 years with immediate deliverables by the end of the first year of the project. Finally, the JRP members will commit for providing some resources or technical advisory or data or funding. If we decompose the JRP, the project will include technical research development, constraints and specifications, design and development of the technological solutions, testing, continuous testing for sure, and field applications on the final products. When we talk about the technical analysis, we refer to the appropriate multi-phase free flow governing equations and the explicit 3D spatial characterization of box and karsts. The constraints will focus on addressing physical mechanisms, numerical applications, and theoretical limitations. The design and development stage will target adequate mathematical models, convergence reliability, and efficient integration with EDFM. Of course, testing will be included and playing a fundamental role to guarantee the accuracy, the flexibility, and the computational efficiency, as we have already done with our EDFM. Finally, field applications will help us to complete the evaluation by scaling up the physical mechanisms without losing accuracy or resolution and adding monetary value to this technology. Based on an ongoing conceptualization phase that we have already started last year, we have identified, as mentioned during this morning, the following technical objectives. First, we would like to upgrade EDFM per processor for matrix, box, fractures, and karst intersections. Also, we would like to apprise Navier-Stokes and Stokes-Greenman's equations for modeling the flow inside the box. We will plan to address the boundary conditions such as Beavers, Joseph Saffman, and other approaches if necessary to address that transition between the matrix and the box. And of course, we will incorporate these novel features in our URSIM simulator and eventually to some third-party reservoir simulators. The major tasks of the JRP include fundamental areas, 3 specifically. The first one is related to upgrade the EDFM so that we can model bugs, karsts explicitly. In this aspect, a complementary task will include developing EDFM parallel feature so that we can speed up the discretization of the non-matrix elements. The second fundamental work is oriented to the development of URSIM bug and car simulator, where the free flow governing equations and the URSIM EDFM connections will be addressed. The other tasks of this aspect will include capturing the interface boundary conditions and develop the parallel computing for URSIM. The last fundamental work that is related in this project will include achieving a friendly user interface that we can be able to extract dynamic visualizations from bugs and car simulations. Other optional tasks we have listed in here, and we mentioned, like, we want to couple EDFM AI, our artificial intelligence engine, for automatic calibration of bugs and car systems. Another optional task include developing approximations on third-party simulators to benchmark with our URSIM. And the final could be to perform further data integration in order to that we can handle different input data formats, and also focus on developing a Petrel plugin. We planned to present you a SWOT analysis in order to evaluate the positive and the negative aspects of the JRP implementation and the influence of internal and external factors. On the strengths side, we have shown you our advanced EDFM development expertise as proof of syntax capabilities. Also, we possess the source code of URSIM, which give us some freedom to address the free flow modeling. We also possess the technical sufficiency on the subject to start on this work. On the weakness side, currently, I will be honest with all of you, the resources are limited, and the project can take up to 3 years. The other constraint could be that there are scarce sources to benchmark the results. We know a few, but of course, we might need more and more testing to validate it. On the threat side, every activity in this industry, we know that can be affected by oil price downturns that will eventually reduce investments in research. Also, currently, there is a trend of non-fossil energy transition that in somehow might affect investments on the oil and gas research. The technical difficulties might arise as we progress on the project that actually might delay a little bit on the process. So those are some part of the threats. However, on the other hand, I want to remark the opportunities that companies can achieve by participating on the JRP. Like they can reduce the investment costs if they share the work on this subject. Of course, members of the JRP will get future discounts on commercial incentives for the new EDFM licenses, and also they will be able to customize their EDFM to their specific needs. At the end of the day, the JRP will provide two main products: EDFM for non-matrix features as fractures, bugs, and car systems, and URSIM with the free flow simulation modules. These products will be unique as they are based on our advanced EDFM, which at this moment has no competitors. They will be the first to the market as there is no other commercial software that can handle free flow in bugs and cars. It will be authentic since it's designed to satisfy the specific technical and data requirements. And of course, it will be tested and validated through exhaustive participation of our members. We wanted to include in the JRP the plan to integrate EDFM to Petrel platform through a plugin to expand the use of EDFM to users that are more familiar with this platform. We plan to keep it fast and computational efficient, reliable and easy to work with for common users so that they might get smooth results, visualization, found in Petrel. We also want to ride on the new commercial solutions and support that Petrel can provide, such as cloud services and others. And I want to stress the idea of that we can speed up the realization of this plugin as we can prioritize depending on the company's interests. So now let me summarize the development plan of the JRP. As we mentioned it earlier, it's going to take about 3 years as planned. But in the first phase or first year, we plan to achieve and have already the spatial 3D characterization of bugs and cars through our EDFM characterization algorithms. We also plan to achieve or complete the URSIM modules for handling free flow implementation. And we plan to start the Petrel plugin development so that at the end of the first year, you will have at least 2 products, the EDFM for cars and bugs and the URSIM. On phase 2, we plan to optimize the numerical methods to resolve the complex modeling scenarios that may arise. We plan to start coupling with our EDFM AI engines and to develop parallel functions and GPU processing for the different technologies, start and continuously perform field testing on the results and the products, and start also on the third-party reservoir simulation approximation, so that on phase 3, we will complete all field testing and commercial applications, and also focus on specific URSIM and EDFM customizations regarding the requirements of the JRP partners. These are the first 2 years timeline with the milestones, the most essential ones. And as you can see, we have already started the work. I will mention that in the next slide, but in general, we have started the work on the derivation of free flow governing equations. We might find some results in a couple of months or so. We also plan to, we have already started actually the EDFM bug preprocessing development, and we will later on this year start on the implementing the free flow module in URSIM, so that at the end of the first year, we will achieve all those goals. We also plan to start early next year in January, the development of the plugin for Petrel. And so that next year, the second year of the project, we will continue on the testing and validation of the bug reservoir simulator and develop a commercial interface for users that includes the bug module in URSIM. If you want more details, we will also follow up with some emails. But in general, I just wanted to present you the Gantt chart of the different tasks. So as you can see, we have already started some of the work. We have done some quite work on the conceptualization phase. Last year, we started with developing this idea and having some periodical discussions with industry major players. We truly appreciate their valuable feedback from these companies, and we want to thank them for that. Now we have also started on the reservoir simulator development phase, as you can see, and it's going to take the whole year, the first year of the process. And not only that, we have also started some work on the bug preprocessor development, as you can see. Other targets will focus on the second year regarding the testing and validation, the plugin in Petrel, and the development of the interface for so that every user can find the solution easy to handle. This is the joint technical team of SIMTech and RSJIP from UT Austin that will work on the multiple stages of the project. We propose to also have an industry advisory team, which will be conformed by the experts and scientists of the JRP members, who will supervise the progress of the project and have a closer collaboration. Just I just wanna, I'm almost close to finish, but I would stress the benefits of the membership of this plan. So SIMTech offers free evaluation and testing licenses during the membership. That means that the members do not need to wait until the first year is over for getting the products. As soon as they sign the agreement or we enroll into the project, they will have access to free licenses of EDFM and our technologies for testing and evaluation. Also, we offer early access to the developing products, as we expect to have them ready after 1 year of good work. And we also offer assisted evaluation that will be performed by SIMTech with the JRP members' data. And that would be essentially for maybe premium packages or strong collaboration members. And the last point is that it's also interesting, we will offer 30% of discounts on EDFM licenses for other 2 additional years after the project is over. I wanted, before closing my presentation, to also mention that we have other business model that maybe companies can be interested in, such as we can perform specific consulting services in regards to pilot testing projects, characterization projects, or different of our technology training services. We can also offer them new technology development services in regards to EDFM software development with specific features and some customization of this EDFM based on the customer's needs. And the final business model is a one-on-one industry technology partnership, which let's say gets rid of the competitors, and somehow we share the risk and the benefits of developing the technology. I truly want to thank you for your time. I know it's been a quite long morning, but I think it's been very productive. We were really excited about this workshop, and we found that the outcomes of these discussions will help us all to find new strategies to address this issue, let's say that way, of the characterization of bugs and cars. Once again, thank you very much for your time, your attention, and I will be open to your questions. Oh, I forgot to mention, we will send you a follow-up email with some surveys, a survey regarding the workshop, the topics and the discussions that we had this morning, and also the details on the plan for the joint research project. Thank you very much. I'm open to your questions.